So, Bomb here. There was a point in my time, especially when I first start recognizing certain synchronicities and, dealing with community harassment and, getting torture on a daily basis. In the beginning of my targeting, and I used to watch other targeted individuals, and, you know, sometimes when I used to hear them speak about certain things, and if I felt like they should change their attitude about certain things, and you know have a different mindset when it comes to dealing with certain other things, you know, I used to kind of down them sometimes, Now, after experiencing harassment for about 6 years now and seeing how a whole community can turn upside down to come to torturing you, yeah, now I kind of see, you know, a lot of TIs you might watch, shout out for the TIs that can remain positive during your torture, who can still have somewhat of a good attitude when dealing with people and bring more of a positive note. But there's some of us, bro, where, you know, not everyone has the same strength. Not everyone gets targeted the same way. Not everyone deals with the same type of torture, and I realized that, I really started to see how some people really just go through the ringer. Some people really go through shit. And that's why I myself don't waste time on trying to say certain things to people when it comes to dealing with they targeting. Some people just can't, their situation is so bad it's impossible for them to deal with, And when you really recognize the amount of effort people put into, harassing you or torturing you, you can see, like, if you have a real understanding of what TIs go through, you can kind of see, like, man, like, there's not many of us, man, that can remain positive and do the right thing, Some of us are literally dealing with shit, bro. Like, you just can't help but have a somewhat of a negative attitude with dealing with certain things, And I'm sorry if you watch my videos and you might assume or you feel as though that, like I'm on some sad shit, I'm on some angry shit every time you stop past. It is what the fuck it is, I go through too much shit, bro, to fucking listen to people's bull crap, bro, when it comes to, what I'm dealing with. I'm sure I'm all for, taking advice and hearing things I need to hear, but when you get on this channel and you start talking shit about what I'm going through and the things I'm saying, you just get the fuck off my video, bro. Go do something else. Sometimes it's just best to not say nothing at all. Just be thankful you ain't got to experience a level of harassment where every time you step outside you got to deal with certain bullshit, man. Niggas could say pray this, pray that, do this, do that, but there's some of us, it don't matter what we do, bro. It don't matter if you wake up one day and then you decide to talk to everyone and have a good time and, try to open up your mouth and, literally try to have a conversation with every person that you walk past with. As some of us, bro, it's like, I didn't experience shit where they just let me know, yeah, the whole city don't fuck with you, I done had people literally just start acting belligerent. I try to sit, stop, have a conversation, shit like that, sirens going off, niggas get around me, start yelling, screaming, like, they show me the full force of what it's like to be ran out of a whole city. So once again, bro, like, if you find these videos to be, like, not positive, if you find these videos to be not positive, like, just Go watch people who can bring you more of a positive vibe. It's not that hard. You ain't gotta sit down, and if someone you feel as though is on some, like I said, some sad shit, some doom and gloom shit, just fuck off, Like, I even see how some, like, now, I don't really watch T.I.'s as much as I did back in the day, and I just, even now, I don't even do research on my harassment, I deal with it, see what the fuck it is, and I speak about it, This shit is every day. There's some days I can go like months without, not letting shit get to me. Sometimes I'll just come on here and preach a message. If you would have watched me, if you knew me before my 700 videos was up there, you'll see that, It's making mean videos and, trying to make shit to make people laugh and have a good time, But even when I came to that, like, kind of stage in my life where it's like my harassment was out of this world, bro. Now it's just like, I can't go out to eat, can't go anywhere to eat. I gave little examples on that, like being downtown. If I try to walk in a store with my face card, if I go to a place where they make the food in front of me, it's like, it's bullshit, bro. So yeah, it is. It's a little hard, bro, to stay positive, and I say it all the time, bro. If you a T.I., still try to talk to people, still try to, mingle, whatever the case is, do what you got to do to survive, Don't try to be an asshole about it, because, being an asshole about the situation, people typically don't like people with bad attitudes. So, even before I used to say all the time, like, I know when it comes to my harassment, I myself also made it worse. But it is what the fuck it is, bro. It is what the fuck it is, bro. I don't care about this bullshit, bro. Like this, I understand at my stage of my harassment is these people just want me either slowly dying, strung out on drugs, crazy, like, nigga, no respect. They want to show me that, yeah, nobody fucks with you in the city. They want to show me what it's like to don't have anybody in your corner, So I understand. It is what it is. It is what the fuck it is. I'm just going, I'm gonna be like this to the day I die. Once again, I can't stress it enough. Shout out to the T.I.s that can still bring a positive message, make people feel good, do your thing. I just, it's not in me to do the same, bro. Because every day I step outside, bro, I got people trying to piss me off. It's just a natural response, And a few T.I.s that I still do watch, and it seems like they might have a little bit bad attitudes or whatever. Like I said, experiencing the amount of effort people will put into torturing you, messing with your head, narcissistically abusing you all day, every day. I no longer fault them for that. And I feel like the people who might have something to say about them, and and I'm not saying you're not wrong, I just, even myself, like, I just learned to just not even have a targeted individual feeling a certain type of way, bro, because I just know how bad it is, bro. Most of them are damaged, battered people, like, not laughing about it, but it's real shit. Niggas done dealt with this shit for so long, bro. Niggas done dealt with this torture for so long. Their harassment done got out of control, bro, where they really can't go to nobody. They really can't talk to not one human being, Even when they do go out their way to try to talk to people, people slander your name so much, niggas talk shit about you all day, every day. Even when you try to step out your comfort zone, you try to say, fuck it, let me chill and talk, and you hear the indirects or subliminals, niggas shit talking you right in your face. Oh, this nigga weird. Or like, it's like, bro, it's so sad, bro. It's just so fucked up, dude. This is why I don't fault other T.I.s. It is what it is, man. Like I say all the time, just be happy you ain't got to deal with a level of harassment that most of us other, hard targets are dealing with, And it is what it is, man. You know, try to make yourself happier. You know, I do things, you know, a lot of my times when I be, you know, if I'm not making content, bro, I'm really doing shit that brings me happiness. You know, I say all the time I wouldn't be on here, you know, I wouldn't even be on YouTube if it wasn't for the fact what I'm going through, you know. And it's me talking about it. You know, it's about me exposing it. I'm sorry if I'm not, you know, if I'm not addressing, you know, things to people to help people out in a more positive way, you know, a more happy way. You know, there's other TIs out there who will do that. Not me. Not me. It is what it is. You know, I guess this is why I'm being targeted, you know, because I got a bad attitude about, you know, explaining things. You know, that's the beautiful thing about this world. Everyone's different, you know. Everyone got a different way about explaining certain things. I'm just going to be me, you know. I'm going to be me as much as possible when it comes to dealing with this. Don't care if you like it. Don't care if you don't like it. Don't care if you think I'm an asshole. Don't care if you think I'm nice. I mean, it doesn't matter, bro. If I wasn't dealing with this torture, I wouldn't even be on this YouTube shit. You know? But I feel like it's my job to help out other people who's dealing with this type of shit. And you see how bad torture can get. You know, a lot of people really out here losing their minds. You know, there's a lot of targeted individuals out here dying from cancer because they smoking every day. You know, there's a lot of fucking TIs out here crashing out, killing motherfuckers, you know, killing themselves. You know, so many fucking targeted individuals done died behind this fucking program, bro. So many fucking people died behind this. I don't want to fucking hear no shit about pray this and pray that, bro. Yeah, it might work for some people, but some people, they just in the thick of it, bro. Nigga, it don't matter. They can wake up, pray all day, every day, bro. Nigga, just harassment get worse and worse and worse, you know? I even said shit about that, bro. I done made videos where I was talking about praying and then still, like, witnessing. It's like almost demons themselves start attacking me, bro. You know, I done had all type of spiritual encounters, bro, dealing in, you know, being in this weird-ass city, bro. I done dealt with all spiritual encounters. You know, a lot of times, you know, when I bring y'all the information, it's hard to be positive about it, bro. It's hard to fucking, you know, hey guys, this is John, and you know, just have a blessed day, and fuck all that shit, bro. Go watch somebody who's gonna bring you that type of energy. You know, like, I don't put a mask on, bro. I'm not trying to fucking please you motherfuckers. I'm here to talk about the truth. I'm here to, you know, to explain what's going on in my own words. You know, I'm not here for your entertainment, your satisfaction. I'm here to speak truth. Whether you feel like I'm delivering that message negatively, toxic, it don't fucking matter, bro. You don't even have to waste your time and fucking comment a goddamn thing. You just fucking block me, whatever the case is, going about your life. You know, but when you fucking wasted your time, you take your time out of your day to say some demoralizing ass shit, you know. You waste your time to say some demoralizing ass shit, you know, and it's not even, you're not even bringing it in like a, you know, a respectful way. You low-key down in a motherfucker talking shit. Like, fuck out of here, man. I don't got to deal with that shit. Nor do any other target individual have to deal with that bullshit, bro. You know, there's TIs out there that's, like I said 1,000 times, there's TIs out there that's nice about the information to bring. You know, they speak real good. You know, they looked up information, and, you know, they saying everything you need to hear or you want to hear. Like, go watch them, bro. You know? It's not that hard, bro. It's not, you know. But once again, you know, I'm not that much of an asshole. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm definitely sorry if you feel like, you know, when I bring these messages, you know, I'm on some, you know, angry shit, or, you know, I'm not here to make you feel good, bro. I'm here to speak my truth. I'm here to explain and tell the world about the things that I'm dealing with when it comes to this torture, you know. And like I said, bro, I'm more than willing to accept things that I need to hear or other people's opinions on the matter. But don't fucking bring it on no disrespectful ass way, you know. You know, shitting on my beliefs. It don't matter what motherfuckers believe in. I know not to down other people's belief systems, and you know I don't fucking care. But don't fucking come over here trying to sit there and say, oh, the things I believe in is shite. Like, okay, and I'm sorry that you feel that way, but that's how I feel. You know, this world got a problem with, like, you know, hating a motherfucker who think differently than you. I don't give a fuck what you believe in. I actually find it very interesting that there's people that don't believe in this world systems and their beliefs, and you know, people who really look within and see how they feel on the inside about what things are, bro. I don't care how crazy they sound. That's the beautiful thing about life. How you can meet genuine people who really have different perspective ways on thinking. But fucking just because you don't like the way somebody fucking thinks, you know, that don't mean you need to fucking down on them because, you know, your belief systems vary, bro. That's fucked up, bro. You ain't no different than these people that want you to fucking believe in religion, go to church. Like, fuck out of here, bro. That's lame as hell. You know, I don't want this video to be too long. I just feel like I need to address that to even these people who might not even be perps. Most of the time, I just feel like these niggas be perped the fuck out. You know, no subscribers, no videos on nothing, no picture, no nothing. Just coming to your channel talking shit, bro. You know, that demoralization shit, bro. Like, nigga go through too much shit. You know, nigga literally wake up every day. Nigga sitting in my room right now hearing fucking the same frequencies of noises and sounds from the time I open up my eyes. I just took a nap, wake up, you hear the same shit, bro. Like, some of us really in this shit, bro. Some of us, it's hard to stay positive, bro. No pun intended, you know? Some of us really wake up and deal with torture on a daily basis. Don't matter how much you pray, what you do, nigga. These niggas know from the time you open up your eyes to the time you close your eyes, nigga, you being harassed. And even when you close your eyes, they gonna do something to have you open up your eyes so you could be fucking sleep deprived. You know? That's what I said, bro. It's like, I definitely feel for all targeted individuals out there, bro. Especially the ones who've been dealing with this shit for years. You know, especially the ones who talk about everything they go through, and it might sound toxic, or it might sound, you know, like they're out of their fucking head, or they let the program get to them. Nah, because I see the level and the level and all the people and the tactics and the things that they do to drive one person insane, bro. I see the level of torture they will put into torturing you, bro, and it's so sad, bro. Because no one, you know, TIs out there, you know, no one will truly understand the level of torture that you go through. Even if you're a TI who make content, bro. It's not for them to understand. You know, there's only going to be very few people, you know, like myself, who's really going to feel the torture you really go through, bro. And why, you know, I don't judge you for, you know, seeming like you have a negative attitude when it comes to talking about your harassment, your torture, you know. Everything that you experience, bro. I have no judgment because I see how bad they get, you know? And don't let these motherfuckers, you know, if someone got something negative to say about the things you're explaining, you know, and you look at these people's channel, no picture, no subscribers, no videos, no nothing. Like, come on, bro. Fuck these people, man. These niggas perps themselves. You know, but this Bahamut, man. I'm out of here. Make sure y'all stay up and stay high vibrational. I'm gone.